Led out by Doug Lawton, and their full team is John Woods at fullback, David Barentz on one wing with Roy Mathias on the other. Eric Hughes and John Joyner the centres. 5'8" John Holmes and the half Gary Stevens. The lock is Steve Norton. Second rowers are George Nichols and Doug Lawton. The front row Trevor Skerritt and Jim Mills, and the hooker is David Ward. And very shortly the Australians will come onto the field, led out by George Paponis. With me in the commentary is a man who knows what it's like to be out there under the atmosphere of Test football, Keith Barnes.
Yes, very well. It's certainly a wonderful atmosphere out here this evening. There was a fairly big crowd here, and here come the Australian side.
Exactly, and there he is, George Paponis. What a very memorable moment in his life as he takes the Australians out. And from fullback down, it's Graham Eadie. The wingers, Larry Corowa and Kerry Bousted. Centres are Mick Cronin and Steve Rogers. The 5'8" is Alan Thompson, the half Tom Rodonicus. The lock is Ray Price, and the second row is Les Boyd and Rod Reddy. Front row, Craig Young and Rod Morris, and the hooker, George Paponis. The reserves for Australia, Ray Brown and Alan McMahon. Fine. Paponis playing it back to Corowa. Rodonicus, Thompson, looking for a runner, finding Boyd, and a good tackle by Norton. Being played by Boyd to Rodonicus, then to Morris, now to Alan Thompson. Cronin, on to Reddy to Bousted, and Bousted scores the first Australian try, and the first try of the match. Scored by the Queenslander, Kerry Bousted. Playing it back to Paponis. Rodonicus, Reddy. Eadie on the inside. Eadie going across the field, now straightening. Eadie over the halfway.
And that's certainly going to be Australia's early
tackler was Young below, and over the top again was Price. He's doing a lot of work. Skerritt. Around the legs is Reddy. Price over the top again. Oh, headbutt from Skerritt. Penalty to Australia, most definitely. Yes, rounds up the little winger, and Bousted to play it. Out to Rodonicus. Across a long ball to Thompson. Out to Boyd, a perfect pass. Boyd gets a one-hander to Corowa. Corowa's flying. Has Woods to beat inside the 22. And Corowa is eventually hit. And it's Steve Rogers, the tackler, as Stevens plays it. It's gone out to the 5'8" Holmes. Hughes runs on the inside. He slides the pass to Joyner. Joyner looking for Barentz. It's gone forward and deliberately. And it's a penalty to Australia. Young again. And he's held there by Mills, Norton and by Ward. Craig Young, one of the successes of the 78 trip by the Australians to Great Britain. Paponis to Rogers. Rogers still going. On to Paponis again. Around the corner to Bousted. Bousted looks for his second and scores again. Kerry Bousted scoring his second try. But what a match. This was the last tackle coming up for the Australians. Craig Young. Rogers. Very strong man, Rogers. Eadie. Boyd, a quick ball to Price. Now to Bousted. Bousted's on his way again. Bousted sprinting inside the 30-metre point, across the field. Electrifying player is Kerry Bousted. Much quieter test than some people expected, Keith.
Yes, I certainly thought there'd be a few more fireworks, particularly in the opening 15 minutes or so, but it hasn't eventuated, and I'll be very surprised now if we don't see the Australians really open up now in this second half.
And there he goes, Graham Eadie, down 10 metres from the 22. Played back to Paponis. Rodonicus, a run round, Paponis again, across the field looking for the runner, and Paponis will play the ball about 5 metres on Great Britain's side of the halfway. Played back to Boyd. Boyd ahead. Still going is Boyd to the 22. Les Boyd going very strongly. Tackled about 5 metres out from the line. By Reddy by the same token.
Yes, brilliant play by Reddy. He's having a fine game, and also the back row three for Australia, all having fine games. Price, Reddy.
So there's the replay for you with Reddy away from one tackle, standing in Norton's tackle, and then it's Thompson. Can't get it down. And then in desperation, loses it as Norton makes a break for England. Back live. And Matthias over the halfway. Bousted in defence. Intercepted by Eadie. Eadie's over the halfway. 20 metres into Great Britain territory. Brushes off 2. Gets it to Paponis. Onto Adonicus. Onto Reddy. Onto Rogers. Conover. Conover's got the ball and scores. Great try by Australia. Oh, that was a super try.
They could have left the substitutes on there as well.
Won by Australia. Price and Rhodonicus at the scrum base. Price will score. Ray Price scoring for Australia. Australia 24. Great Britain. And Australia get their first touch for quite some time. Price down to the 22. Still going. Price with a good long run.
He probably just went that little bit too far. If he could have picked up the Australian outside men, then there was a chance for Korowa.
Ready. To the halfway mark is Ready. Oh, Evans. Why, my boy, why? Playing it back to Paponis. On the burst is Morris. Ridden into the ground by Nichols. 15 metres out from the line now. Craig Young. George Paponis going into dummy half. Rhodonicus is on the right. Thompson, this man on the left. Eadie's coming up. That's Price. Price, his second try. He's had a brilliant match, Price.
What a wonderful pass from Alan Thompson, though.
Oh, yeah.
To put him right in.
Taking the tap. Taking it up. Korowa rooming on this particular trip to Brisbane with Mick Cronin. Young, Paponis, Morris. Oh, Morris! Filled with what appeared as though it could have been high.
It could have been high, did you say?
Well, I'm only giving the referee. In fact, since he came on, he's been involved in a couple of set twos with a couple of the Australian players, and he's had a few words with the referee. Again, the Great Britain side win the scrum, and Norton gets his pass to Evans. Players midway between the 22 and the halfway on the Great Britain end of the field. Skerritt picked up by Boyd and driven into the ground.
Terry Fernley, the Parramatta coach, if he does leave Ray Price and Mick Cronin out of the side to play Cronulla tomorrow.
Talking of Cronulla, there's Rogers, now ready. Looks on the outside, gets it back to Thompson. There's a gap up the centre. Thompson runs to it. And he copped a high one from Skerritt. And now the punches fly. And so do the boots. And what we thought might have happened in the early part of the game has eventually come just 5 minutes from the end. Players still engaged, being separated now.
I think he's sending Skerritt from the field.
So Skerritt has been sent off. Let's see the incident if we can. Penalty to Australia. Referee Ward calling timeout and calling over George Nichols.
And congratulations.
Thanks, Robert.
How's that taste?
Oh, very good after the game.
You normally drink milk.
Oh, they haven't got any. KB will do.
Not a bad drop, Ray. It was a great win to Australia, but congratulations more on a personal basis. You've had a tremendous match in defence and attack.
Well, I was really looking forward to having a big running game tonight, and they just kept trying to tackle me high, so I just kept ducking.
Did you know you were going well, Ray?
Well, the team was going well. We were winning. There was plenty of talk out there, so that's all I was worried about.
Ray, it must be quite a thrill to play amongst a team of players that are all just so classy.
Well, we worked up a terrific spirit last year overseas, and that's mainly what happened out there. You know, we just carried on. From the Ashes, we went over there to win them last year, and we're going to win them out here this year.
But what about Great Britain, Ray? They looked bad, in a word.
Well, you know, they haven't had many hard games. I'd say the second test is going to be a lot different than that one.
Yes.
You know, you can forget about that one. The second test is going to be completely different.
All right, mate, we'll get back to a Toots KB Coal Gold. And you're now going to receive a Sanyo video cassette recorder with the compliments of that company and Electronic Sales and Rentals. And I know you've been trying to win one for a little bit of time now.
Yeah, I'd like one. I know a couple of people who'd like one, but thanks very much.
Well, you can't see this particular commercial.